What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Upgrading RC. Today we're going to be looking at the front shock tower or front shock mount on the Bandit VXL. I had some questions on how to replace and or upgrade this, so I'm just going to take you through a quick walk around. But first I'll show you the car, show you what we got going on. We got the red Integy shocks up front and a brand new Integy shock tower. I have 35 weight oil in the front, and those are the big bore with the titanium coating, and I have the 45 weight oil in the back to kind of counter all the aluminum I have going on. I do have a 90 spur in there now with a 23 pinion. It rubs a little bit on the aluminum gear cover, so I went back to the RPM, the nylon. Works fine. I don't know if I went over my custom roll cage I made out of a couple different wheelie bar parts to kind of protect that fan on the Sidewinder. This is kind of the sweet spot for bashing in good speed. The 90 tooth is really critical in keeping those temps low, and I think I found that if you go higher than a 23 pinion, your temps start hitting about 165, 170, and your ESC goes into heat protection. It takes about 2 minutes for it to come back down off of that. I did cut a vent on top to really get into that Castle fan, and it seems to be working pretty well. And this is my Mantis body. Mantis body came out great. The Mantis decals are from eBay. And like I said prior, I am running Rustler A-arms in the rear for that wider stance. So what we're going to do now is pop off the body and give you a look at what has to get done. There's my Onyx 3S 8000 milliamp LiPo. We're going to give you an idea of what you have to do to replace this guy right here. I do like the Integy, although STRC is a better quality aluminum. The Integy really gives you a really wide range of pivot for the shock, and you know, the front and rear shock tower, they look great on the vehicle, and I've never had issues with any type of warping, bending, or performance. So what I usually do is I go into the car and I take these top two out, and I take these bottom three out. Again, all my screws are upgraded to stainless just for the rust factor and durability. And I don't have Phillips head on anything. Everything is hex. Phillips have a tendency to strip. I think hex is a lot more reliable. There's a set on eBay, and it's a complete conversion kit. It's on eBay and Amazon. I don't know who the vendor is, but if you type in stainless steel conversion kit for any RC, something will come up. I did the same thing to my Arrma Kraton, and it's nice to not have any rust in the holes after a water run, because it does accumulate pretty quick. So once you take these two out and pull the bumper off in these three, you're going to want to take out 1, 2, 3, 4. Once all those screws are out, your whole front end is pretty much just going to drop out. Once that drops out, there are screws right there and right there. Those are for your front arms. You're going to take those out. You're also going to want to take, once those are out, you're going to see a screw, I don't know if you can really see it, right down in there on either side. That's what's holding your shock tower in. Don't forget to take those out as well. Your steering arms, you're going to take that top screw out right there, and then on the other side. Once that's all out, your shock tower is going to be free. Then you can go ahead and unscrew your shocks here on the bottom and the top. Pull those off. Your shock tower will come right out. Now, what I do recommend is when you reinstall an aluminum, if you're, obviously my bulkhead here is aluminum. If your bulkhead is plastic and you get an aluminum shock tower, don't use Loctite. if you go aluminum to aluminum, which is not always the best thing, but I find that it's rigid in the front, and it's, you know, my flexion points are in my nylon A-arms. Use your blue Loctite. Anything that has a stainless steel to aluminum or metal to metal has a drop of Loctite on there. And when I first started the hobby and I didn't use it because I thought it was ridiculous to use Loctite on an RC car because I didn't know any better. You know, when your shock kind of comes out halfway during your bashing session, you know, you'll learn pretty quick to use it. And for $2, it works really well. So aside from that, reassemble, and you're good to go. As you can see with this bulkhead, I use longer screws. I got some nuts here on top to really keep that tight. Stock, these suspension pins right here have a little notch in the back for a C-ring. I did away with that, so the pin comes right to the very end. Over there, plenty of play. I've never had an issue with anything coming out. Aside from that, I put all new rubber gasket sealed bearings in the car, and it'll spin for, you know, 3-4 minutes like that. I know it's a little bit of overkill, but I do clean the bearings every 3 or 4 runs, especially if I'm going through any type of heavy mud and whatnot. Generally, I'll just spray the car down, spray it with the Blaster lube. It's a yellow cap. This stuff right over here. This stuff is great. It's PB penetrating catalyst lube. I spray the whole car down, use a little acid brush to get in between everything, wipe it off with a microfiber, and it keeps everything looking clean. It keeps everything nice and lubricated. Other than that, I think everything's good to go on the car. The car's running good. I want to let you guys take a look at the cage I built back here, just so you can see how I engineered it, I guess you could say. I have it attached underneath, right here and here. And I also have it on the sides with a screw here and on the opposite side. I used a piece of ABS plastic right here with a screw on top and bottom. And the cool thing about that, it's adjustable. I can actually, you know, if I want to mess with the spacing between here, if I put my wing on, I can bend this out and bend it forward. And like I said, it's just to protect the motor and the fan, because sometimes when you're gonna pop wheelies with how much torque this thing has, you don't really want to be scratching up your aluminum and your motor that much. And after that, it was just a matter of fact of playing with the distance from here and how you want your angles to come out. And it worked pretty well. I've had no issues with it yet. You know, some other things I've done to the car, if you haven't seen my videos lately, I have my MIP drivetrain back here. Everything, all my gears in my transmission are all upgraded to hardened steel alloys. I got my Proline trenchers on here on my Desperado wheels. Again, they're a couple sizes above what the Bandit comes with stock. All my green arm carriers right in there. My zip tie work, trying to keep everything as neat as I could. So that's it. That's the Bandit. That's the latest video and everything. There's my dog. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. I answer fairly quickly, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks, and have a great day.